Hello everybody, in this video we will speak about further education in bachelor therapy. There are various approaches or schools, and the basic approach is classical, that is guaranteed by Bach Center in England. And there are further approaches like the division of the essences into healers, helpers and other essences by Julian Barnard, who tells that you should choose at least one of the essences from each of these groups. Some therapists, for example, concentrate on local applications like Dietmar Kremer or Ricardo Orozco. Their approach is much more sophisticated, but it is quite specific for them. And some therapists, for example, combine Bach flower essences with homeopathy, Chinese medicine, kinesiology, and so on. And it is always the best for the beginner to start with the classical approach, and if you find that you still need something more, you can look at the other approaches too. You can study some literature, some books, then you can take part in some courses. Very important is personal therapy, and you can also take part in some study groups. And of course, the greatest source of experience is treating of the patients of your own and other. You can download some books directly from the webpage of Bach Center, and these downloads are free of charge. Bach Center also sells some books. Some of them describe Bach flower essences generally. Some of them concentrate on some group of people, for example, on women or children or on animals, for example. And there are many other books, for example, on Amazon. You can also develop your communication skills, and motivation interviewing has a lot of resources for study. And although in motivational interviewing itself you will not learn anything about Bach flower essences, you will improve much your communication skills. And the best book about motivational interviewing is Building Motivational Interviewing Skills by David Rosengren. This book is really great. There are many examples and many exercises, so this book represents a whole course of motivational interviewing. There are also some courses. Some of them are organized by and approved by Bach Center, and they are organized by lecturers trained by Bach Center. And there are also some courses of communication skills. Just type in Google motivational interviewing training and you will see the options in your neighborhood. Personal therapy is very important because everybody has his shadow, and this shadow, his hidden part, interferes with the therapy. We all have a tendency to project the hidden part of ourselves to the other people. And the more we know about ourselves, the more we are able to help the other people. And we also need to collect personal experience with the therapy, with the essences. So it's very useful. And you can start with the self-therapy, which helps also studying, because you think about your mood, about your feelings, and look for suitable essences. But if you have some more serious problem, it's the best to ask some experienced practitioner. If there are more people who would like to study Bach flower essences, it's always good to create study groups, because these people boost the motivation of each other. The experience of the other of your colleagues can also help you, and you can discuss also your cases with them. And treating of the patients of your own is the greatest source of experience if you are open to it, because although the positive successful cases are pleasant for you and for the patient, of course, you can learn more from your therapeutic failures. And that is why it is also useful to use audio or video records of your cases, because then you can listen and again and look for these mistakes, and you can also discuss the cases with your colleagues. Of course, the precondition of recording is the agreement of the patient. And it's useful to return to old cases, because your skills develop during the time, and when you listen some case, for example, that you had 5 or 10 years ago, your point of view may be quite different. And it's also good to keep some statistics, because it can objectively verify that your skills are improving. And purely quantitative aspect is also useful. Just the number of the cases you have treated reflects your experience. If you have treated more than 200 patients, so you are intermediate. If you have treated more than 1,000 cases, you are advanced, and if you have treated already more than 5,000 cases, so you are an expert. Of course, it is probably the whole life work. And the themes of Bach fluorescences are universal. You can find them in many areas, like in arts, in stories, or in social and political events. And it is a good way how to study Bach fluorescences when you meet, for example, with your friends, with your colleagues, and in a study group, and you discuss, for example, these themes. So you can have a task, everybody to find some painting that corresponds to agrimony, or some story, or some social political event, and so on. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And in the next video, we will speak about some hints or guidelines for a good practice of Bach flower therapy.